Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to be doing another Walking Dead universe Q&A. And man, it's been so long since I've done one of these, but I really want to start doing them again consistently. I love making these videos, man. They're my favorite to make just because I love interacting and engaging with you guys, hearing all your crazy theories, your crazy comments, you know what I mean? It's just so incredible. I love doing this stuff. So, if you want to see more Q&As on the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, be interactive, man. Drop comments, ask me questions. I will always answer every single one. So thank you to every single person who participated in this week's Q&A. I would like to do them at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to start doing Q&As a lot more consistently. So let's get into it, man. The first question we have is Q&A, do you think if years go by before we see Rick again in reunions with Daryl, will anybody still care? I think it should happen sooner rather than later. So, I think people will always care to see Rick and Daryl reunite. But I do agree with you, though. It should happen sooner rather than later for sure. Just because I think you have to strike while the iron is hot, man. I really do. I think it's important to build off of momentum. So, yeah, I would agree with you for sure. But at the same time, I still also think people would care. If we don't get to see Rick and Daryl reunite for 3 to 4 years, I still think it would be massive when it happened, for sure. I still think it would be a very big deal. Next question we have is how many seasons do you think Daryl and Dead City have in the tank? Daryl, I feel like 4 is the answer. Dead City, I could see going a tad longer depending on how season 2 ends. So, man, it's a great question. I really think that at least, I think Daryl Dixon could go a little bit longer than Dead City, personally. But I would say I think Daryl Dixon should get 4 or 5 seasons, and I think Dead City should get around 3 or 4. That's my personal opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. Obviously, it could go a lot longer if they really want to stretch it out. But doing this format, 6 episodes per year, I think 3 seasons, 4 seasons for Dead City makes sense. And honestly, same with Daryl Dixon. I think Daryl Dixon getting 4 seasons seems like enough. At this pace we're going at, I think it seems like that should be the max because hopefully by that time everyone's reunited, everyone's back together and stuff like that. And, maybe there's a new show or something. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say 4 for each. Obviously, I doubt that's actually going to be the case, but that's what I would do. Next question we have is do you feel it's necessary to see Rick and Daryl reunite before it's all said and done? And yeah, I mean, I definitely think so. If The Walking Dead was to end and we never got to see Daryl and Rick reunite, I feel like it's just a massive, missed opportunity. You have to have that scene. I think Daryl and Rick really were like the foundation of The Walking Dead for a long time, especially when Daryl started becoming even more popular than Rick. There was a period in time there, during the Walking Dead original series where Daryl Dixon was a huge character. So yeah, I definitely think it's absolutely necessary to have Daryl and Rick reunite 1000%. If they don't end up having that happen, I will riot. I will lose my mind. Next question we have is Q&A. Do you think we're going to have a spinoff of Clementine and Lee? Also, you think we're going to have Tales of the Walking Dead Season 2? So, to answer your first question, do I think we're going to have a spinoff of Clementine and Lee? I really hope so. It would be absolutely incredible to have the Telltale, The Walking Dead world come to life, right? It would be incredible. The game is really, really great. I haven't beat the game. I can't remember where I am, but I get so caught up in other stuff and so caught up in other video games like, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 right now and everything. I get so caught up in things I just get sidetracked, but I believe I'm still on season 1 of Telltale's The Walking Dead. But yeah, it's a really great game. I'm going to end up beating it, but I hope we get to see a spinoff with Clementine and Lee and kind of have that storyline, in a television format, right? In like a live action TV series. I think that would be sweet. Absolutely. And to answer your second question, do I think we're going to have Tales of the Walking Dead Season 2? I hope not, to be honest. I didn't like Tales. I didn't think it was good. I think it's just a waste of the Walking Dead title. I think the Walking Dead title has lost some juice and some relevance in the world, and I don't think milking it that hard is good for the franchise. As a super fan, I don't think it's good for the franchise to continue, Tales of the Walking Dead or even the Walking Dead World Beyond and stuff like that. It's just a waste of time and money, I think. Go all in on Rick Grimes. Go all in on Daryl Dixon. Go all in on Maggie and Negan. I think at this point in the Walking Dead universe, they really need to invest in the stuff that we want to see. I think the show's been on for so long, And maintaining that relevance is hard for that long. So I think you have to go all out and invest into, Daryl Dixon, Dead City, The Ones Who Live, or, whatever the next Rick and Michonne show is going to be. Go all out on those spin-offs and with those main characters. But Tales of the Walking Dead, personally, not interested really. Next question we have is, are you going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond? Um, I don't really know, man. Like, I have actually not watched Fear the Walking Dead all the way through. I'm not going to lie. I watched like the first two seasons, and then after that, I just kind of got bored, to be honest. I've never been a huge fan of television shows. I'm not really into watching TV shows too much. When there's something that really grabs my interest, like the Fallout TV series, because I was such a big fan of the video game. I love Fallout 4. It's like one of my favorite games of all time. So obviously, when the show came out, I wanted to watch it, right? And it's the same thing with The Last of Us. I was a huge Last of Us fan. So when the show came out, I checked it out and I loved it, right? I mean, stuff like that, that I already have like an established connection with that like universe, and that fan base, then yeah, like I'll check it out. But typically, I don't know, I've never really been a big fan of TV shows, and obviously I had an established connection with The Walking Dead when Fear the Walking Dead came out, but for whatever reason, after the first season or two, I just kind of got bored and I never watched the rest of it. I probably will eventually end up watching Fear the Walking Dead though, but I mean, as of right now, I don't have any plans to talk about Fear the Walking Dead on the channel or Walking Dead World Beyond. Um, Next question we have is, also, you think we're having a Fear the Walking Dead or World Beyond spinoff? Um, Probably not. I think if anything, we might see some crossovers. Maybe we'll see some Fear the Walking Dead characters in Dead City. Obviously there's been theories about Dwight going over to Dead City and stuff like that, and Dwight and Sherry and everything reuniting with Negan. That would be interesting. It would be cool to see. I would like to see Dwight again. I like Dwight. I don't think he's a terrible character or anything like that. I think he's pretty easy to watch. I've always liked him. Austin Emilio is a really cool dude. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely not a World Beyond spinoff. There's probably a 0% chance of that happening, I think. I could be wrong, but I would be very shocked if they wasted more money on The Walking Dead World Beyond, because that show was just not a show people liked in the end. Um, Next question we have is, do you think that Rick and Daryl have a high chance of reuniting in the near future? Hmm. Do I think they're actually going to do it soon? Well, we know Daryl Dixon's got a season 3 already, and I'm pretty sure they have a season 4 coming for Daryl Dixon. So I would say probably not in the near future. Like, near future, I mean, we're talking about like near future being like what, 2 years or so. Within the next 2 years, I don't see it happening. I don't know. I wish, man, I wish they would just do it and just start something else, start something big. But I don't see it happening in the near future, really. Maybe within the next 5 years or so. But I wish they would do it soon, but I just don't know. I just don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. Next question we have is, I feel like the chance of Daryl and Carol making it back home is higher than the chance of Maggie and Negan making it back home, at least in one piece. What are your thoughts on this? And or what do you think will happen in the next season of Dead City and Daryl? Wow, it's a very loaded question. In terms of the first part to that question, and we're talking about Negan and Maggie making it home, or who has the higher chance of making it back home. I mean, I would probably agree. But then again, I mean, Daryl and Carol are in a whole different country. Maggie and Negan are like in a different state. You know what I mean? So, I mean, technically, I think Maggie and Negan would have a higher chance of making it back home, just because the degree of difficulty to make it back to Alexandria or back to the Commonwealth, I think would be easier for them, just because they're a lot closer, right? So I would actually probably disagree with you on that slightly. But in terms of Dead City, I have no idea. I mean, it seems like Negan's kind of returning to his old form again, right? That seems exciting. And in Daryl, it seems like they're just going to continue their journey. It seems like more of the same for Daryl, and Dead City seems a lot more like they're trying to recapture what we felt during the old days in Dead City Season 2. And I respect that. I like that. Negan kind of returning to his old form, stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't really know what to expect, but I think it's going to be good. I think Dead City is going to be good. And Daryl's just my favorite character, so I'm always going to watch no matter what. But Daryl Dixon Season 3 does look good. Next question we have is, do you think we will see Rick and Daryl reuniting within 2 years? It's funny because someone just kind of asked me that. Kind of the same thing. I think in the end, no, I don't think within 2 years we'll get the reunion. I hope I'm wrong, though, but I don't. Like 2 years from right now, I don't think so. What is your favorite spinoff? The Ones Who Live for sure. It was just so good. Seeing Rick again was so refreshing. I loved it. And the last question we have, guys, the final question of the Q&A video. What was your reaction to the ending of The Ones Who Live? I was fine with the ending, actually. I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was a little rushed, but I didn't mind it. The whole story of The Ones Who Live was rushed because they had to just make up for so much lost time and jump around so much with the timeline and the time jumps and everything. But they did it as good as they could, you know what I mean, in my opinion. I think they did it as good as they could, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed the whole experience. It was really awesome. I love Rick. I love Michonne. It was great to see them reunite with the kids at the end. Rick's hand shaking in the helicopter on the ride home and stuff because he's so nervous. Like, I really had no issue with the ending to The Ones Who Live, honestly. I thought it was good. I liked it all the way to the end. It was really refreshing seeing Rick again. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more Q&A videos, man. If you guys have any other questions, just drop them down below in the comments, but make sure you put Q&A before you ask your question so I know it's for the Q&A video and not just a question that you want me to answer. So please be sure to drop a like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. I love you guys. Make sure you stay safe out there in the crazy world. Peace out.